Well, good evening, everyone. Michael, soothing here. Is it a good evening? Where you are? I don't know. We're making the best of things. But I wanted to give you some tips on what you can do when you're inside with your significant other, husband or wife.
Babe, I told you to walk on the treadmill.
Walk on the treadmill? Well, I have to play an online poker game first.
No, you have more time now.
Okay, all right. She wants me to get my exercise in. Anyway, I have tips on how, from Malaysia, of all places, my favorite go-to place when I'm figuring out good instructions for dealing with national lockdown. And their instructions to women there are here. I thought I would share them with you to see if you could find any helpful tips. And their instructions, okay, maybe you don't read Malaysian, right? There we go. Joanna's almost Malaysian because Filipinos are a mix of Spanish, indigenous, Malaysian, and Polynesian, basically. So, Asians. But anyway, the advice they're giving, there's the little Malay insignia up there, is women. Malaysia, by the way, has the largest number of cases in Southeast Asia. And so they wanted to, do a good PR plan for their folks. And they wanted folks to get along well during lockdown, right? Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, etc. So here are their handy tips for you ladies, okay? Malaysia's Ministry for Women, Family, and Community Development issued a series of online posters on Facebook and Instagram with the hashtag Women Prevent COVID-19. It advised the nation's women to help with the country's lockdown by not nagging their husbands. You think I'm making it up, right? Not nagging their husbands, okay? And see, here's a little do not nag insignia right there, right? I think that's what that's supposed to be. I think she's pointing a finger at the guy, Like, you're home all day. Can't you at least do the dishes, you worthless slug? Why are you sitting there watching sports on TV when there are no sports on TV, right? So, okay. What else? The other handy tips that they have for the women. The ministry also advised women to refrain from being sarcastic if they asked for help with the household chores. I was just doing sarcasm. It urged women working from home to dress up and wear makeup. Okay, here you go. Women, if you're working at home, you're supposed to make your husband happy by putting on makeup. There we go. Yeah. And what else? This was the response. This is extremely condescending, both to women and men, said Nisha Sabanayagam, a manager of the advocacy group All Women's Action Society. These posters promote the concept of gender inequality and perpetuate the concept of patriarchy. The posters drew swift ridicule online. How did we go from preventing baby dumping and fighting domestic violence to some variant of the Obedient Wives Club? Okay, now, I don't get crazy about gender roles or anything like that, right? wait, here we go. I missed all of the instructions. Avoid wearing home clothes. Dress up and put on makeup and dress neatly. OMG. This is what Rena, Minister of Women, Family and Community Development, thinks is important during the lockdown. Tweeted, Honey Tan. Honey Tan is the one who sent out the instruction. After the torrent of abuse online, the ministry abruptly relented late Tuesday and abandoned its campaign. It said its suggestions were simply aimed at maintaining positive relationships among family members during the period they are working from home. Well, see, personally, although I think men, it's natural to take a somewhat of a leadership role in the household, except in my household. No. We fight for the leadership role here. Let me sip a little water and make sure no one's listening with a frying pan at handy. But anyway, it is my personal belief that men and women should both take full responsibility for being respectful to each other during this difficult time. Now, Joanne and I, we are always together since I am now retired from aerospace, and she's not currently employed outside the home. So this is not an adjustment for us. But for many out there, they're suddenly getting to know their wife or husband, boyfriend or girlfriend, significant other, roommate, etc., way better than they did before, and getting on each other's last and final nerve, right? So handy tips are, don't allow your anxieties and fears and things like that, and your cabin fever to make you irritable with the person you're with. Do the opposite. Make it a fun experience. Make the most of it. Do things together that you both enjoy, or do things that you give each other space also in between times. One person, they can do something they like in one room, if you have more than one room. And if not, you can always use the bathroom, right? And one can do something in the other room for a period of time. Then you can come together again and have quality time and be productive and positive. I know it's easy to get swept up in the fear of the unknown, all the things going on, I won't say that I've never had a twinge of anxiety about the current situation. It seems to be rapidly evolving each day. But I didn't, but I do want to add a voice of calm to it like I did before and say, we need to protect the older people or people that have a chronic condition that makes them vulnerable. Serious diabetes, cardiovascular, or someone taking chemo and over the age of 60, right? If you have 2 or 3 of those things, then you're very vulnerable and you need protection and help and medical awareness. But for the rest of society, this isn't as scary as all of the reaction to it, perhaps, is making it out to be. I will save this discussion for another video. We'll talk in another video about how this works because all of you are sick and tired of hearing about this, just as I am, even though I follow it obsessively 3 or 4 hours each day, okay, in the news. Anyway, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to backtrack less than a month. Just go back 2 or 3 weeks to newspapers I haven't read yet to show by contrast what seemed to be like news not long ago that no one would care about today, except us, because it gives us a chance to ramble about something that doesn't produce any anxiety. I'm here to reduce your anxiety and relax you. The World Link. I don't even know what paper this comes from or where I got it. Does anybody know what the World Link is? I'm not sure. But it's dated March 11th, so what is that? About 3 weeks ago. Here are some of the important articles. Man with nunchucks and BB gun arrested for trespassing in North Bend. Oh, I think I got this paper down in Coos Bay when we were down there. I had to do a weird doctor visit down there for my eye. Anyway, a man who was reportedly, see, there's the front page article right there. Man with a BB gun arrested. First woman Rotary president shares her story. That's the most important front page article right there. Oregon Episcopal edges past Cascade Christian for state title. There, see? Right there. Coquille seeks to continue existing facilities bond. I don't care about those boring stories. I want to know about the important stuff like the man with the BB gun. Let's see what it says. A man who was reportedly armed with a gun and nunchucks was arrested Saturday afternoon for criminal trespass after a call came in that he was in a woman's home in North Bend. Voice is a little scratchy. According to a press release from North Bend Police Department on Sunday, March 1st, dispatch received a report at 2:45 p.m. of a victim in distress, asking the reporting party to call the police. The reporting party advised dispatch the victim had a male suspect in her home. The reporting party said the suspect was armed with a gun and nunchucks and was freaking her out. Well, that would freak me out if some dude was here with nunchucks and a BB gun. In fact, I wouldn't want anybody in my house right now without nunchucks or a BB gun. North Bend police on the scene were able to make phone contact with the woman inside. The woman was able to exit her home and meet with the officers mano a mano. No, it says face to face. Oh, I guess that would be mujer de a mano or something. The victim said the suspect had just showed up to her house the night before and refused to leave. Have you ever had someone come the night before and refuse to leave, but you wait till the next day to call the cops? I think I would call the night before, but that's just me. The victim said she did not know who the suspect was and could not provide his name. Something about this story does not add up. The victim added the suspect, who was later identified as 56-year-old John McAfee. Hey, that's not the software guru, online, security software guy, is it? Had at least one hunting rifle on the front porch and possibly more inside the home. Shouldn't I be doing a Jody Arias video if I'm going to talk about this? I keep promising my long-term subbies. The rest of you don't know what I'm talking about. I will keep my promise eventually. I always do. Officers observed McAfee exit the house onto the front porch multiple times. Yeah, so why didn't they do anything? Where's the rest of it? Am I missing the rest of the story? Well, I'm going to feel very unsatisfied. Multiple times, but they didn't continue the story. Okay, now I'm upset. Well, you know the rest of the story. As Paul Harvey used to say, the man got arrested. They found out it was a BB gun, and I don't know why the woman let him spend the night if she didn't even know who he was. That sounds very odd. So we're missing something there. Southwest Oregon construction report. This says where they're going to do all the road construction. Highway 38, the Umpqua Highway. Dean Creek paving and pedestrian improvements. That's where the elk hang out. If you ever come down into Reedsport, Oregon on Highway 38, before you get there, about 2 miles before town, there's a big elk preserve over on the left side of the highway if you're heading to the coast, and you can see many elk there. Maybe I'll patch in a photo that I took there, if I can remember. By the way, we're not allowing any old lockdown stuff to keep us from nature. We went to a state park that shall remain unnamed, and we took a nice hike on a trail around a lake. Well, the state park is closed, theoretically, but we walked there anyway and saw not a single soul, and so it was very peaceful and pristine and nice. I'm not advocating anyone else indulge in this kind of civil disobedience, but since we are locals, I think we should be allowed to walk in nature, right? And don't lecture me and say I'm part of some problem group who is flouting the rules and causing death and destruction. Okay, because there was no one there but the two of us, Joanne and I. All right, anyway, we also, we and other locals walk down on the waterfront close by. Maybe I'll patch in a photo of that as well if I get a chance. Because it's very beautiful down there, and you have to get your exercise. Cole's Cat House. Here is, I'm dropping the paper now. Don't get me upset. Here's a picture from Cole's Cat House. I know that sounds like a house of ill repute, but it's actually cats. Okay. The following cats are available for adoption at Cole's Cat House. You know, I'm not sure I like this guy's attitude. I don't think I would adopt him. He's looking like he's got kind of a pissy attitude, doesn't he? You know, I really love cats, but, you know, when it comes to cats and dogs, the dog is trying to please you, but you are trying to please the cat. See, it doesn't all equate the same way with different kinds of pets. You go to feed them and they look at you and they go, wait, could I see the wine list please first? And this is not the gourmet cat food, all right? But Coos County Animal Shelter has cats. A lot of people are adopting pets right now, by the way. I'm going to do a video later this week where we just clear the air on all the stuff that goes unsaid, the elephant in the room. But I'm also going to do videos over the next couple weeks that don't mention anything other than whatever my subject matter is. Like, I'm trying to start with painting. I want to take the painting kit that Joanne got me and start playing around with painting. I've never done it. People tell me I should do like a Bob Ross, but there's no way I can put up a canvas thing, right? And then start doing it freehand like he does. I don't have that talent. But I would like to play with it and do ASMR with you, because I think you would enjoy even my childish attempts at producing some artwork, right? Because we could do it in a very relaxing fashion. Someone told me in comments, can you just get the paper and make the paper rustling noise and don't speak? Well, if I lose my voice bad enough, maybe I'll do just that. But I'm not sure most of my subbies would want that. So, it's possible. Let's read Dear Abby. You know we always do. I can't resist it, okay? Dear Abby, a short time ago, I experienced a terrible loss. I came home from work one evening and found Martin, my boyfriend of almost 17 years, Martin, was passed away at the bottom of the stairs. I later found out he had been drinking. Okay? Speaking of drinking, I never saw Martin drinking before. He did it very rarely. He didn't go to bars, and he would never drink and drive. He did have a close friend who would visit him on occasion, and they would drink beer together. Abby, I feel deceived and betrayed. On top of the terrible... Well, I imagine Martin doesn't care so much at this point. Martin knew how I felt about drinking, because I was previously married to an alcoholic. How do I get past this? Let's see now. She's not upset about losing Martin. She's upset because he drank some alcohol. Okay. I guess we all have our priorities. Dear Wounded, please accept my deepest sympathy. Abby passed away a long time ago, but she still signs this Abby. So who is she really extending sympathy? I don't think she really has that, but the manner in which... Are you absolutely certain his death was alcohol related? Was there an autopsy? People have been known to suffer from a stroke or a heart attack that can take them suddenly. And if Martin was on the stairs, I think Abby is giving good advice here. She doesn't always, but for the person pretending to be Abby. Let's go on to the next one. Dear Abby, my husband and I have been married for 4.5 years. Most of them have not been good. Maybe 4 years of the 4.5 were bad, and a half year was good. That would be most, right? When we have disagreements, he calls me names and then gives me the silent treatment. In the Philippines, when a Filipina gives you the silent treatment, it's usually the female who does it. It's called tampo, okay? And you don't want tampo because it could go on for days. All right, anyway, he sometimes gives me the silent treatment for weeks at a time. That seems pretty excessive. We tried counseling. It was initially helpful, but he refuses to go anymore, saying it did not work. We went to 3 one-hour sessions. I am trapped financially because I cannot afford our mortgage alone. He threatens me financially when we argue by not contributing his agreed-upon share into our household account. You're married and you each have like separate money, and some decide not to pay and some do. Okay, that's the wrong kind of arrangement right off the bat. I don't have the means to move out while paying my share of the mortgage. I have 3 dogs, so renting is practically impossible. Everybody on the Oregon coast has dogs but me. Okay? They're everywhere I go. I have nothing against dogs. I love dogs, but I can never escape them. Dear miserable, a good marriage is like heaven. A bad one is like hell. No, she didn't say that. She said a good marriage is like heaven. A bad one is like living with a very unpleasant cellmate. You know, in the book of Proverbs in the Old Testament of the Bible, there are several verses that say, it is better to live on the corner of a roof than to live with a contentious woman. The same, of course, can be said in reverse. Anyway, I'm not going to keep reading it because I'm getting bored. Cole's Cat House Adoptions. Oh, now this cat I would adopt. Let's see if I can get it in view. That cat there. Get them when they're small and then they'll bond to you, right? They will bond to you. All this paper rustling is going to make a lot of noise. Lots of noise. Look at this. I didn't even open these papers. When is this from? March 7th. That's only 3 weeks ago. And it's one of the local papers. Growing Green. See, I haven't gotten the local paper for the last 3 weeks since this one, but I guarantee you the front page article won't be about growing green. Didn't things change in a hurry? Let me give you some advice about the current daylight savings time begins. Yeah. We lost an hour. Spring ahead. I'm still trying to catch up on my sleep from 3 Sundays ago. How about yourself? Opinion. I've been out of state RVing for several months. Just returned home. I've been busy catching up on editions of the news. A letter to the editor. Okay, I'm bored. Behavior. Government chooses not to bring charges against behavior detrimental to society. Blah, blah, blah. Politics. This is not a time for politics, folks. This is a time for everybody pulling together in the same direction, putting all their deranged political ideology aside and working together towards the same goal. That's all I'll say at this moment about politics. Find local artist Boudreaux exhibits at Chamber through April. Boudreaux. Impressionist, I guess? I think so. An impressionist. What kind of art should I try to do? I don't know. I like to look through this section to see how much my home has gone up in value. Except now it's dropped in value substantially, I'm guessing. At least for a while. But since I'm not planning to ever move, and I'm planning to live out the rest of my days here on the Oregon coast, I don't really need to worry about that, do I? Sports and recreation. What about the fishing report? I've had subbies also say, stop bothering us with stuff that worries us and instead talk about your fishing equipment. You know, like I've made a couple of those videos in the past. It's like, couldn't you just get out your fishing bag or something? You guys think I don't read every comment, but I do. So I say to that, yes, soon I will do a video like that. I went fishing a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and I got what's called, this is what I caught. I caught a skunk. It's called being skunked, catching Zippo. And that's because it's a little bit early in the season here. But I saw someone catch a nice big surf perch at the ocean, and so I might try that next. I've had good success with that in the past. Casting a little sandworm. You run up to the waves as close as you can get without getting inundated. You throw the sandworm and the weight with a little weight as far. I use a split shot and a sliding sinker, and then about just 5 or 6 inches of line, and then a sandworm on the end there, right? I throw it as far out as I can, and then just start reeling it back to me in after the wave breaks, in the slack water behind the wave, and that's where the surf perch are feeding, and boy, they can be aggressive. And caught me some nice ones a year ago or so. Around this time. So I think I'm going to go try that soon and give you a full report. I will also do some other videos. Sorry I was away so long. Just getting my voice back from allergies, and while others have extra time on their hands, I've been extremely busy trying to fix my other house, get it ready for selling. The one that's on the water will make me very sad, but I need to sell it. Can't afford both places. So it's sort of a getaway. Anyway, girls, make sure you put on, attractive clothes, do your makeup, and don't, I'm just kidding, don't send me your angry emails. Just goofing on the Malaysian Ministry of Family Development and Unity. Because if I can't make jokes here, then I'm not. Don't write me and say, oh, this situation is so horrible and you're making light. Don't even bother writing me. Go ahead and thumb down my video. I always get some, I don't care. because I'm enjoying life. Even in the midst of troubles and trials, we can enjoy life each day. There's so much to appreciate. Think about what your life could have been like had you been born in a different place and a different time, slaving away dawn to dusk in some crappy field, trying to raise just enough to survive on, dying at 35 years old of overwork or some other terrible thing. That was life. That no internet, no leisure, no running water, no hot shower. No yummy stuff to eat, for the most part. Some good fresh produce now and then, but only in season. So anyway, I'll be back in not too distant future, and I will attempt to do a variety. I know I've done these newspaper videos too many times, but it's late at night. I didn't want to start a new topic or a difficult project so late when my brain is a little slow. So I'll come back with something different next time. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, and, until next time, don't ASMR and walk, because you might bump into a pole or something, like when I'm playing Pokemon Go and walking at the same time. So far I haven't broken my nose, but I've come close a couple times. Joanne has to yank me. I will do another Pokemon Go video someday, too. I am the only guy my age who plays it. It gives me great joy to be at what level am I? 37, and doing trainer battles with, kids that are 19 and beating them over and over, okay? That's kind of fun, because they would croak if they knew there was an old guy on the other end. Anyway, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.